So Mungalli, I guess we took the farm over from Mum and Dad in 1986. So they were just conventional dairy farmers up to that point in time. And being a long-haired hippie at that point in time, big red beard and stuff like that, I wanted to do something a little bit different, as young people do. And so much to my dad's absolute disgust, we went down the biodynamic pathway.
When I first came home to the farm, Rob had decided to go biodynamic, and I was at that age where it sounded perfect, you know. Well, it was not understood, so, you know, it was like, it sounded ridiculous. People probably laughed at us a bit, but probably still are.
So yeah, so this is the soil after 45 years of biodynamics. So just break it open a little bit. See, it's got beautiful structure. It wasn't particularly successful in the short term, but by 1990 we were kicking some goals. It was working really well. And then in the year 2000, or prior to 2000, they said they were going to deregulate the dairy industry. The price went down for the milk for all the farmers. It went from 250 farms up here down back to about 50 or 60 or something ridiculous like that in a very short period of time. Because we're organic, all biodynamic, it gave us the opportunity to do something a little bit different.
That could have gone a lot worse. That was good.
So Mungalli is the brand name, and it's just growing slowly from that. So initially we started out just making cheese. We started doing yogurt. Then people started asking about milk. And as we grew more milk sales, we started making more soft cheeses and stuff like that. So it's been a continuous, ongoing process.
So yeah, we're milking twice a day here at the moment. There's about 80-ish cows at the moment. About eight aside. It takes about an hour and a half to do. It's pretty quick at this dairy. It's very easy. I just work by myself here, so it's very calm and cool. The cows here are really nice. They're very calm.
It is a superfood when it's not over-processed. Milk can be so good for you, but so many people have bad reactions to dairy, not necessarily because of the dairy, but a lot of what they're consuming, if it's conventional, can be over-processed, denatured, homogenised, and it's just not how the body receives that nutrient. So we try to give customers a product that's as close to the natural thing as possible, so it's good for their health.
A lot like most things in life, we learn what we know, and then we're stuck with that because that's what we know, you know, and we don't want to change. So it's the same with farming. If you go through school or you go through your apprenticeship on the farm with your dad or whatever, they've trained you to use your NPK, and they work. So if you put NPK on, you get grass growth, the cows get more milk, everything's cool and groovy. But you're slowly you're not destroying your soil, but you're changing the soil so it needs you to continually keep on adding those as inputs. However, with the biodynamics, you've got to think outside of that square, and that's very, very hard to do. So there's a lot of things with biodynamics. It's not just the remineralisation of the soil, but it's also having the right plant mix. So you need all these things to bring all the life forces into the soil. You need rotational grazing. You need so many different things to make it work. So it's not just one single thing. It's not just the 500. It's not just the preps. It's a whole range of different things. And also a persistent farmer helps as well. So this is Biodynamic 500. It's cow manure that's been buried in a cow horn over winter, and there's a transmutation of the cow manure into a rich colloid. So this is just imbued with life force. When you mix it with water, the information and the energy and the life force that's in this is transferred into the water, and then you spray it out over the pasture or whatever you're doing, and it puts life back into the soil.
You know, there's weeds here and things like that, but you know that weed there, that's cow medicine. The whole picture to me, it looks pretty good, pretty perfect. But, yes, they'll come into another paddock tomorrow and a different one tonight. So after every milk, and they're in a new paddock. Yeah.
After deregulation, the dairy industry, there's a lot of dairy farms which were really quite productive, and they employed quite a few people, and suddenly there was a loss of employment in the local area. Our little town got smaller and smaller. We lost the banks, we lost the shops, we lost the butcher's shop, we lost so many of the news agents. They all went. So I guess our thing was, how can we create employment for the local area? We now employ 100 staff in the local area, and to me that's probably one of the best things we've done is create employment.
Obviously, as demand grew, well, then we needed to bring in more farmers. But from that has come good things. And once you can map your own pathway, it's so much more empowering for families. And those families that are now connected with us, they can get a better price for their milks.
24 years ago, we had one farmer come on board. And then a couple of years after that, we had Glenn come on board. So they've given us the milk for growth when we required it.
And you know, I can remember early on Hugh Lovell would come up this way from America, and he was talking about a farm he visited in America. You know, he come to it and he reckons it had this dome over it. And I'm looking, oh yeah. And he said he walked in and you could feel different, then he walked back out and it felt different. And a few years ago I could feel the same thing here. I said, well, I can join Hugh Lovell. But yeah, you see it and you just say, oh hell, it's good.
Our business model is about producing good food, but it's also about looking after farmers, making sure that there's still opportunities for small family farms and the dairy industry in our region stays viable.
It's a beautiful just way to be on the farm with family, doing something, producing good food.
And it feels good, like looking over these farms, 30% has gone back to trees. It's a beautiful farm because of that. Yeah. And that wouldn't have necessarily happened without the biodynamics. In our eyes, a natural system which is sustainable in the long term without those huge inputs or the huge cost of those inputs is our ideal. So that's what we're aiming for. And we've got consumers out there that want the same thing. So we don't do cheap food, we do high quality food.
Yeah. If you've got healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy cows, so they say, healthy humans.